Ladies in your 60s, 70s, or beyond, let's talk heart to heart about a sneaky threat to your independence. Not aches or pills, but fading balance. That rock-solid stability that keeps you steady in the dark or on uneven steps. As a geriatrician, I see nearly 99% of older women lose it gradually. Yet we rarely discuss it. We adapt quietly, gripping counters, shuffling steps, skipping dances, until a stumble spirals into a broken hip, rehab, lost freedom, and heartache. The good news, it's mostly preventable. Today, I'll reveal 6 everyday mistakes silently eroding your balance, strength, and safety. Ones I made myself until I woke up dazed on my kitchen floor. If you've had heart-skipping close calls or steadied yourself on stairs, this is for you. Type number 1 in the comments to join the conversation and show you're not alone. Stay till the end. The final mistake could transform how you move and feel forever. Ready? Let's dive in. Mistake number 1. Wearing the wrong shoes. Now this might sound simple, almost too simple, but it's a silent culprit, truly. The very first mistake that often trips us up, quite literally, is wearing the wrong shoes. Let me tell you a story that still makes me wince a little when I think about it. It was a beautiful, crisp spring morning. The kind where everything just smells a little sweeter, you know? I was just heading out to my mailbox, a quick, familiar trip I've made thousands of times. On my feet were my favorite pair of soft, flat shoes. Simple little ballet flats I'd owned for years. They were cute, comfortable, or at least I thought they were. What I didn't realize was that, over time, those trusty shoes had gone from perfectly comfortable to downright dangerous. As I stepped off my porch, my right foot caught on the edge of a loose brick. Just a tiny snag, but in the blink of an eye, I was stumbling, face first, right toward my rose bushes. I caught myself, barely, thank goodness, but I came away with a rather painful bruised shin and a wake-up call I'll never, ever forget. That fall didn't happen because I was clumsy or careless. It happened because I was wearing the wrong shoes for the woman I had become. You see, our feet, bless them, change as we get older. It's a quiet transformation, one that nobody really sits down and tells you about. Those lovely fat pads that once cushioned every single step, they start to thin out. And the arches that held us up through decades of life, raising kids, working, dancing, enjoying ourselves, they can start to flatten. Our tendons become a little tighter, our bones a little more brittle. And our natural balance, that amazing internal GPS, just doesn't compensate the way it used to. What that really means, my dear friends, is this. The very same shoes that felt perfectly fine, maybe even wonderful, when you were 35, could actually be silently sabotaging you at 65 or 75. They might look the same, feel incredibly familiar, even seem utterly harmless, but they're no longer providing the crucial support your feet need now. And that subtle lack of support can quietly, insidiously, and very dangerously undermine your stability and lead to those unexpected wobbles. Let's talk specifics for a moment. I've seen it time and again. Slip-on shoes, those comfy flats, or especially those worn-out old house slippers, are some of the biggest culprits. They offer almost no structure at all, no arch support to keep your foot properly aligned, no real grip on the bottom, and virtually no stability around your ankle. The soles are often too thin to absorb any shock when you take a step, and they're notorious for sliding on hardwood or tile floors, or even just a throw rug. I used to wear my own slippers around the house all day long, thinking they were the safest choice. I know better now, and I hope you will too. I've witnessed this happen with dear friends. My neighbor, Doris, a truly vibrant 78-year-old who bakes the best banana bread on our block every single weekend, slipped in her own kitchen. She was wearing a pair of those worn-out floppy house shoes. She broke her wrist trying to catch herself. It took her months to recover, not just physically, but emotionally. That fall, that single moment, shook her confidence in a way that truly nobody saw coming. And that's the plain truth. At this stage of life, one fall, just one, can change absolutely everything. A fractured hip, a twisted ankle? It's not just a painful injury. It can spiral into major surgery, a long, arduous rehab, the terrifying loss of independence, and even a deep, lingering sadness or depression. That's why, truly, choosing the right footwear isn't just about comfort anymore. It's about protection. It's about maintaining your dignity. So, when you're looking for a good pair of shoes, what should you really look for? First and foremost, you want a firm, non-slip sole. Something with real, honest-to-goodness grip, especially if your home has hardwood, tile, or outdoor steps. Look for memory foam insoles or heel cups that help absorb impact and cradle your foot's natural shape. Believe it or not, a slight heel lift, even just a quarter inch, is actually better than a completely flat shoe, as it helps distribute your weight properly. Next, choose shoes with some gentle, supportive structure around the ankle. Not stiff, mind you, but secure. Something that softly hugs the back of your heel and doesn't slip off when you walk. And if you need to wear shoes inside the house, which I highly recommend, please skip those floppy slippers. Opt for indoor shoes with rubber soles or supportive slip-ons specifically designed for balance and proper foot alignment. And no, they absolutely don't have to look clunky or orthopedic, I promise you. There are so many wonderful brands out there now that seamlessly blend comfort, support, and genuine style. I recently found a pair of supportive walking shoes in a soft blush color with a little gold trim. They feel like walking on clouds, and honestly, they look like something my granddaughter would borrow. Wearing the right shoes truly makes a world of difference. It's not just that I walk differently now. I carry myself differently. There's a quiet confidence that comes from knowing your feet are grounded and stable beneath you. And when I bend down to tie my laces, I'm not just tying shoes. I'm consciously choosing safety. I'm choosing my independence. So, please, take a moment. Take a real, honest look at what's in your closet. Are your shoes truly supporting you, or are they silently, subtly working against you? If you've had a moment like mine, or if you've been relying on those old, worn-out house slippers for a bit too long, drop a number 1 in the comments right now. Let me know you're with me, and you're not alone. I'm right there with you, learning and growing. And don't forget to subscribe to this channel for more practical tips that truly matter, because sometimes the smallest changes, like simply choosing a better pair of shoes, can make the biggest difference in how you move through the world. Stay steady, stay strong, and stay with me, because we're just getting started. Mistake number 2, skipping strength training. When I was a younger woman, I honestly used to think strength training was strictly for those muscle-bound bodybuilders you'd see on magazine covers. You know, the ones in tight gym clothes, lifting heavy weights with veins popping out. So, when I sailed into my 60s, I just figured, well, I don't need any of that. I kept plenty active around the house, or so I told myself. I walked my adorable dog, I cleaned, and I pottered around in my garden. That's exercise, right? But then, something started to shift. Slowly, quietly, I began to notice little things. Getting out of a low, comfy chair started taking just a bit more effort than it used to. Climbing a flight of stairs left my legs feeling surprisingly tired. even-winded. And one day, I dropped something on the kitchen floor, and I actually had to think twice about how I was going to get back up without struggling. It was a small moment, but it truly stuck with me. That's when my kind doctor introduced me to sarcopenia, a fancy term for age-related muscle loss. It's not rare, it starts in our 30s, accelerates in our 50s, and by our 70s, we could lose up to 30% of muscle mass if unchecked. But it's not just aging, it's disuse. When we swap squats for sofas and heavy lifts for coffee mugs, our muscles retire too, fading quietly. The signs? Relatable and sneaky, constant fatigue, heavy legs after short walks, wobbles reaching high, dreading bends or stairs, feeling less steady. These aren't old age. They're cries for strength. The best part? You can reclaim it. No gym fees or scary weights needed. Just consistent, small efforts and a willingness to start. Let me tell you about my dear friend, Judy. She's 74 years young, and she lives alone in a charming little bungalow. For years, she avoided stairs whenever possible, struggled immensely with carrying her groceries, and felt a quiet nervousness every single time she had to step off the sidewalk. Then, during a local senior wellness class that she almost didn't attend, she tried something incredibly simple. Just 5 chair squats. That was it. Just 5. Over the next few weeks, she slowly, steadily added a few wall push-ups. She started lifting soup cans. Yes, just regular soup cans. While she watched her favorite TV show for arm curls. She even invested in some inexpensive resistance bands and learned a few gentle pulls for her arms and shoulders. She found a YouTube channel just like this one that had really gentle routines for people her age, and she committed. Just 15 minutes, 3 times a week. The change? Remarkable. Absolutely remarkable. She stands taller now, her shoulders back. Her steps are more confident, more purposeful. She no longer needs help getting out of her favorite recliner. And when she tripped on her garden hose last month, a real heart-stopping moment, she didn't fall. She caught herself. That's what strength does, my friends. It doesn't just make you look good in a dress. It truly, truly saves you. When your legs are stronger, you have that extra burst of power to recover from a stumble. When your arms are stronger, you can instinctively break a fall, catching yourself before you hit the ground. And when your core is strong, you move with so much more control. And, crucially, with so much less fear. Strength is more than just physical prowess. It's emotional resilience. It's the profound difference between feeling like you have to rely on others or knowing you can absolutely trust yourself. So, if you're wondering where on earth to begin, here are some incredibly easy ways to get started, right in your own home. Try chair squats. Stand in front of a sturdy chair, lower down slowly like you're going to sit, and then rise back up again. For wall push-ups, face a wall, place your hands shoulder-width apart, and gently push in and out, feeling those chest and arm muscles work. Arm curls are simple. Use light hand weights, or even those soup cans I mentioned. Lift them slowly, with control, either while seated or standing. And resistance bands are fantastic. They're inexpensive, easy to find, and incredibly effective. You can use them to gently work your arms, shoulders, or legs, even while sitting. Don't, for a moment, worry about how many repetitions you can do. Start with 5. Build up to 10. Celebrate every bit of your progress. You are not too old. You are not too weak. You are not too late. So many of us were told for so long that aging means slowing down, stepping back, becoming overly careful. But what if aging is actually the most perfect time to truly grow stronger, on your terms? If you've been putting off strength training, feeling a little intimidated or unsure? I sincerely hope this is your very moment, your gentle push. Let me know in the comments below with a number 1 if you are ready to take that first small, empowering step. I'll be here, cheering you on every single inch of the way. And be sure to hit that subscribe button if you want more safe, simple strategies to help you stay strong, fiercely independent, and wonderfully active. Remember, your strength is still very much there. It's just waiting patiently for you to reach for it again. Mistake number 3. Ignoring vision changes. Now, let me share another experience, one that truly opened my eyes, quite literally, to our next quiet danger. It happened around 2 a.m. The house was completely dark, wonderfully quiet, and still. My husband Frank was fast asleep beside me, softly snoring away. I certainly didn't want to wake him by flipping on the lights, so I did what I always did. I tiptoed my way to the bathroom, relying on my memory and my feet to guide me perfectly. But that night, they just didn't. As I rounded the corner into the hallway, I completely missed the edge of the rug. Just slightly, but it was enough to send me stumbling, flailing my arms wildly to catch myself right into the wall. I didn't fall, thank goodness, but my heart was absolutely racing for hours afterward. And the bruise on my thigh the next morning was a stark reminder of just how lucky I'd been. I blamed myself at first. Maybe I was just tired. Maybe I wasn't paying enough attention. But the truth, I realized, was much simpler than that. I couldn't see properly. What I didn't fully realize, what many of us don't, is how much our vision actually changes with age. And I'm not just talking about needing reading glasses for the morning newspaper, or needing a stronger prescription for driving. As we gracefully get older, our eyes go through subtle, often silent changes. We start to lose our peripheral vision, that handy side sight that helps us notice things out of the corner of our eye. Our depth perception weakens, making it surprisingly harder to tell how close something really is. And perhaps most dangerously of all, our ability to see clearly in low light just fades, especially when we're moving between dark and light spaces. This is the core why so many falls happen at night. In familiar hallways, during those routine trips to the bathroom, or just moving from the bedroom to the kitchen for a glass of water. You're not clumsy. Your eyes are simply not giving your brain the accurate, real-time information it needs to keep you perfectly balanced. The symptoms of these vision changes, beyond just blurry reading, can be subtle too. You might find yourself squinting more often, even in dim light. You might start reaching for things that are a little further away than you thought, or misjudging a step that seemed perfectly flat. These aren't just minor irritations. They're direct signals that your brain isn't getting the precise visual cues it needs to coordinate your movements. After my near fall, that humbling experience, I finally scheduled an eye exam for the first time in 4 years. And what do you know? It turned out my prescription had changed significantly. No wonder I'd been feeling a little disoriented in dim light. I got new glasses, and this time, my optometrist suggested an anti-glare coating to really help with night vision, and lenses that enhance contrast indoors. What an incredible difference it made. Suddenly, I could see steps more clearly, much more vividly. I started noticing shadows before I stepped into them. I felt steadier, more grounded, and genuinely more confident. And then I made one more crucial change that I recommend to everyone. I improved the lighting in my home. I installed some inexpensive motion-activated night lights in the hallway and bathroom, so I didn't have to fumble for a switch. I swapped out old dim bulbs for warmer, low-glare LED lights that truly brightened things up. I even added a small lamp by my bed that I can switch on with just a gentle tap. No more struggling in the dark. Now, when I get up at night, I'm not moving in darkness. I'm moving with clarity. I'm moving with confidence. So, if you haven't had your eyes checked in a while, let this be your gentle yet firm reminder. Don't do it just for reading or driving. Do it for your fundamental safety. Ask your eye doctor about lenses specifically designed to reduce glare, improve contrast, and support aging eyes. Make it a habit to clean your glasses often. Smudges are surprisingly dangerous. And please replace scratched lenses. And don't ever feel silly about adding a few extra lights around the house. Because here's the truth, plain and simple. Vision is balance. Your eyes are constantly telling your brain where your body is in space, how far away that chair is, and how high that step is. And when that signal is cloudy, or even slightly delayed, your risk of falling goes way up. So, please, don't ignore what you can't fully see. You've got too much wonderful life ahead of you to be held back by something as fixable as poor lighting or an outdated pair of glasses. If this story resonates with you, if you've had a close call in the dark, or even just found yourself squinting more often, drop a number 1 in the comments below so I know I am not alone in this experience. And make sure you hit that subscribe button for more practical tips to keep you safe, steady, and confident as you move through each beautiful day. Because seeing clearly is always the first, brightest step to standing strong. Mistake number 4. Not monitoring medication side effects. Now, let's talk about something incredibly important, something that often operates completely in the background, out of sight, yet can have a huge impact on your balance and well-being. Not monitoring your medication side effects closely enough. A few months ago, my wonderful friend Barbara started a new blood pressure medication. She's 72, sharp as a tack, still drives herself to the local library every Thursday, and bakes the absolute best banana bread on our entire block. When her doctor prescribed something new to help with her occasional lightheadedness, she didn't think twice. After all, she trusted her doctor implicitly, as we all do. And why wouldn't she? But a few days into the new medication, something just didn't feel quite right. Barbara noticed that the room seemed to spin ever so slightly whenever she got up from the couch. She felt slower, a little foggier, like her head wasn't quite fully in the room. She brushed it off at first. Oh, maybe I haven't eaten enough, she'd think. Maybe it's just the heat. Or maybe I'm just tired. We've all been there, haven't we? But then one morning, she stood up too fast, just a little too quickly, and nearly stumbled right into her heavy coffee table. That, she told me, was her undeniable wake-up call. What Barbara didn't know, and what many of us simply don't realize, is that our bodies process medications very, very differently as we gracefully age. After 60, subtle changes in our liver, our kidneys, and even our body fat composition can cause medications to build up in our system longer than before, or behave in sometimes unpredictable ways. A dosage that worked perfectly fine for you at 50 might suddenly be far too strong at 70. And when you troteten under the feeds, retaking more than one medication, which, let's be honest, most of us are, the interactions between them can get complicated and, frankly, quite dangerous, very quickly. This is the core why your body reacts differently to medications now. It's not a weakness. It's simply a change in your body's chemistry and processing speed. The symptoms of these medication issues can be incredibly subtle, making them easy to dismiss. Beyond obvious dizziness, you might experience a persistent low-level drowsiness, a feeling of brain fog that wasn't there before, a general sense of being off, or just a little less steady than usual. These are your body's warnings. Here's what Barbara did right, and what I strongly encourage all of you to do, too. She started writing everything down. every dizzy spell, every foggy moment, even how long it lasted and what time of day it happened. She kept a little notebook dedicated to it. Then, she brought that detailed list, along with every single bottle of medication she was taking, even her vitamins and supplements, to her next Dr. E.S. appointment. And guess what? Her doctor, seeing the pattern laid out clearly, adjusted just one dose, and the dizzy spells, that unsettling fogginess, simply disappeared within days. It wasn't dramatic. It didn't require switching everything around. Just one small, careful adjustment made all the difference in the world for her. This is where your role comes in. Here's the truth. You know your body better than anyone else on this planet. If something feels off, if you're suddenly more wobbly, if you feel a little less steady, if you're just not quite yourself, please listen to that quiet voice inside you. Don't dismiss it. Don't simply chalk it up to just getting older. Yes, we age. Yes, our bodies might slow down in certain ways. But dizziness, persistent fogginess, or sudden, unexplained imbalance is absolutely not something you should live with quietly. Get a simple notebook. Track your symptoms diligently. Bring it, along with all your medications, to your doctor. Ask questions, even the uncomfortable ones, especially if you feel dismissed. If something doesn't feel right, advocate for yourself. Speak up until it does. You deserve, truly deserve, to feel alert, steady, and perfectly safe in your own body. Don't settle for anything less. If you've ever experienced a moment like Barbara's, or if you're currently wondering whether your medications might be affecting your balance, please drop a number 1 in the comments below. You are most certainly not alone in this concern. And don't forget to subscribe to this channel for more simple, life-changing health tips. Because sometimes, just one honest conversation with your doctor can make all the difference, keeping you firmly on your feet and completely in control of your wonderful life. You absolutely have a say in how you age. Let your voice be heard. Mistake number 5. Holding on to furniture instead of using a cane or walker. Let's address another very common challenge, one that often comes with a bit of a tricky emotional component. Holding on to furniture instead of using a cane or a walker. This one hits close to home for many. For years, my friend Shirley flat out refused to use a cane. She's 76, incredibly proud, fiercely independent, and as she often says with a twinkle in her eye, not ready to look like someone who needs help. So, instead of using a cane or a walker, she developed her own elaborate system, which she jokingly called wall walking. She'd hold on to countertops as she moved through the kitchen, brace against chair backs in the dining room, and reach for door frames whenever the room felt even a little bit wobbly. And for a long time, it seemed to work for her. Until, of course, it didn't. One afternoon, Shirley was carrying a laundry basket, brimming with fresh, clean clothes, from her bedroom to the living room. Both hands were full, completely occupied, leaving no free arm to steady herself. As she turned the corner near her hallway, she suddenly lost her balance. She nearly went down hard, right into the sharp side of her heavy oak table. She caught herself, barely, managing to avoid a serious injury. But the sheer shock of how quickly it happened, how close she came, left her shaken for days. That terrifying moment, she told me, changed everything for her. You see, and this is the core why it's so dangerous. Furniture simply isn't made to hold you up. It's static. It doesn't move with you. It's not always, and crucially, not reliably, within reach exactly when you need it most. And the truth is, relying on walls or chairs to steady your balance is not a genuine safety plan. It's a gamble. It really is. The symptoms of this habit are clear. You find yourself constantly scanning rooms for something to grab, feeling a surge of panic if you're in an open space, or experiencing small, frequent stumbles that you brush off. These are not minor inconveniences. They are signals that your natural balance is compromised and your safety plan is inadequate. But I truly understand the hesitation here. So many of us, myself included, grew up believing that needing a cane or a walker meant we were getting old, giving up, or showing a sign of weakness. We imagine that people will look at us differently, that we'll appear frail or vulnerable. It's a deep-seated feeling, a matter of pride. Yet, extensive research and common sense tell us that preventing falls before they happen is paramount. The emotional toll of a fall, the loss of independence, far outweighs any perceived stigma of using a mobility aid. Here's what Shirley learned, and what I want you to embrace. A cane or walker isn't defeat. It's command. It delivers more than support. It unlocks freedom. Freedom from nagging fear, from clutching walls or furniture. Freedom to stride tall, savor outings, and reclaim your daily life. Gone are the days of drab, generic aids. Today's canes are sleek, adjustable, lightweight, with cushy grips and designs that scream personality. Floral prints, bold colors, even chic accessories. Shirley chose a soft blue floral one with a contoured handle that hugged like her old gardening gloves. No more shame, just power. She enters rooms steadily, purposeful, not scanning for handholds. And, get this, she feels younger, moving boldly without caution or cover-ups. If you've resisted a cane, ask yourself, would you rather be seen confident with one, or sprawled after a fall? Harsh? Yes. But one tumble means rehab, a shattered hip, stolen independence, all preventable with one wise step. Grabbing furniture too often? That's your cue. Reframe it. Not surrender, but savvy momentum. If this speaks to you, if you've ever resisted using support, even when deep down you knew you needed it, drop a number 1 in the comments below. You are not alone, and you are absolutely not weak. You are wise. And be sure to subscribe to this channel for more uplifting, practical insights to help you move through life with strength, dignity, and abundant joy. Because courage doesn't always look like standing tall unaided. Sometimes, it looks exactly like reaching for the thing that helps you keep standing at all. Mistake number 6. Avoiding balance exercises. All right, my wonderful friends, let's tackle our 6th and final mistake. And it's one that often catches us completely off guard. Avoiding balance exercises. For the longest time, I genuinely used to think that balance was just something you either had or you didn't, like being naturally good at dancing or gracefully walking in high heels. If you were born with it, great. If not, well, you just had to be extra careful, right? That was my mindset. But then, I attended a senior wellness class at my local community center purely out of curiosity. And what I learned that day completely, fundamentally changed the way I understood my own body and its capabilities. I signed up for a gentle class, expecting light stretches and yoga. But instructor Janet, a vibrant 77-year-old, kicked off with simple balance drills, like standing on one foot for 10 seconds. I wobbled like jelly after 5, clutching my chair, but so did everyone else. Then she dropped this gem. Balance isn't lost from age, it's lost from lack of practice. It hit home. I'd never trained bin balance, figuring walks, steps, and groceries sufficed. Truth is, it's a skill your brain and body hone together. Skip the challenges and signals weaken. Stability fades. Signs go beyond falls. Hesitating mid-move, breath holding to dress, frequent dizziness, or that unsteady vibe while standing still. Not aging's fault. They're calls for attention. The thrill? Rebuild anytime. Janet's home-friendly starters, 1-foot stands, hold a chair if needed, heel-to-toe tightrope walks, weight shifts to engage your core, or rising from a chair, hands-free. I did 5 minutes daily, brewing coffee or waiting for laundry. In weeks, I transformed. Taller stance, grounded feet, curb step confidence sans hesitation. Balance gifts, fear-free freedom. Myth alert. No, accepting unsteadiness post-60s. Your body adapts. The nervous system learns. Muscles strengthen into the 80s and beyond. Studies prove short balance routines slash fall risks and boost mobility. It's never too late, so please do not wait for a fall to make balance a priority. Make it a joyful, non-negotiable part of your daily routine, just like brushing your teeth or making your bed. You don't need fancy equipment or expensive classes, just a little space, a little time, and a willingness to begin. You can find wonderful guided balance routines right here on YouTube, or join a class at your local senior center. Often they're free or very low cost. Or even invite a friend to practice with you once a week. Accountability makes it so much more fun and far less intimidating. If this story sounds like yours, if you've never really thought to train your balance, but realize now just how profoundly important it is, please drop a number 1 in the comments below. And while you're here, subscribe to this channel for more gentle, powerful tools to help you live fully, fearlessly, and with incredible stability. Because balance isn't just physical, it's peace of mind. It's the quiet, unwavering confidence of knowing that your body truly has your back, even when the floor beneath you feels a little shaky.